Greetings, this is the Crunchy Fat, and today I will be doing a new what if. This one is what if female deku was Upper Moon 1 kokushibo. Now, on. Alright, so, as I was saying, let me explain. Now, she doesn't have a quirk, because I'm not really wanting to classify her demon abilities as a quirk, and she will be a vigilante in this one. So, and she'll also be about this is her younger brother, Yorichi. I know that they were twins in the original, but in this one I'm making Yorichi younger because he'll be going to UA, so he'll be about and she will also, Kokushibo will also be immortal in this one, so she'll stop aging once she reaches the age of 18, which is what she is right now. So she stopped aging, and Yorichi will be about a year old. Alright, so, let's begin. So, we begin with, your Kokushibo, who are running through the forest as their house is burning, as their parents' estate is burning down. And as she's running through the forest, she's also being chased by heroes who think that she had done it. Now, just so you know, Yorichi is very attached to Kokushibo. So, and Yorichi is still asleep, and he is being carried by Kokushibo in the same way as in the picture. And as they are running, Kokushibo uses her moon breathing, which is a part of her abilities, which is first form, Dark Moon, Evening Palace, as you can see right here. She uses that, which basically, she strikes at the ground, which does send the heroes flying back a bit due to the force that had been hit by it. And the heroes she's being chased by is Aizawa, All Might, Endeavor, and Mount Lake, and I'm gonna say Midnight. And as she's running through the forest, these heroes are still keeping on her tail until she reaches a clearing where she stops to check to see if Yorichi is alright. So, as she's checking to see if Yorichi's alright, he is completely fine. As she hears Endeavor's flames and the shockwaves produced by All Might's jumps coming from behind her, as in the clearing, she hides Yorichi away in some of the foliage that has fallen on the ground, as she then draws her blade to fight them. With All Might and Endeavor arriving there first, with Midnight and Aizawa closely behind them, as All Might and Endeavor engage her in combat. And due to her enhanced speed and strength, All Might and Endeavor do have a hard time fighting her, but she does get a couple burns on her from Endeavor, which do quickly regenerate. As she then uses, I believe, she uses second form Pearl Flowers Moon Gazing, as a barrage of blades do come at them, as Aizawa and Midnight arrive on time, and I'll say a couple more heroes had heard the commotion, so people like hawks and all that would arrive at the scene as well. As Kokushibo is getting quite tired, and she knows where Yoriichi is. She knows that if she tries to make a break to grab Yoriichi, she will probably be killed. But she does it anyway. As she makes a break to grab Yoriichi, as the heroes are rushing towards her, she then puts him on her back as she then dashes off. But before she could clear the jump, she's hit by a attack by Endeavor and All Might, with Endeavor shooting one of his flaming spears, which misses Yoriichi, but hits Kokushibo in her leg, and All Might takes Yoriichi from her and hits her with a Detroit Smash, which she tries to block, but it sends her flying into the distance. With Kokushibo landing far away from where Yoriichi was. As once she wakes up, the heroes haven't found her since she was launched pretty far, and they probably presume that she was dead due to nobody being able to survive a distance like that. As she then gets up, as she's regenerating from the injuries that she sustained, and heads back to the clearing to find that the heroes are gone, and so is Yoriichi. With Kokushibo being upset by this, and she begins to, weep. Weep that she failed to keep her younger brother safe. As Yoriichi does have, the little flute that Kokushibo made for him when he was born. So essentially, when Yoriichi was first born, now this was back when she was 17, she made a flute for Yoriichi. Yoriichi when he was born, and basically gave it to him. So Yoriichi has that on him at all times. So we'll fast forward I'd say about 20 years, 17 years. So Yui's at college, Yoriichi is 18 now. Kokushibo, since she was 18, she'd be 17 now, and it was 17 years, she'd probably be around, I believe, 36 years old. She'd be 36 chronologically, but biologically she still looks 18. So Yoriichi's quirk is basically, he basically has sort of the same demon mark, the same Slayer mark as Kokushibo, like you see in here, and he also has sun breathing. He also has the sun breathing that he did in canon, which is a lot stronger than Kokushibo's moon breathing. So once Yoriichi gets into UA, since he was accepted into UA. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the hero. I say that just for you Mike Zawa fans, Aizawa and Present Mike are a couple, so they've been raising Yoriichi for the past 17 years. With Yoriichi, Yoriichi does have some memories of his older sister, but they're sort of blurred. So like how when you try to remember something when you try to remember something that you did as a child, or something that happened in your childhood, but it's blurred. It's sort of something like that. As once Yoriichi gets UA and does everything else that Izuku did in canon, We then get to the USJ with Yorichi arriving there with Class 1A, as once the League of Villains shows up, and everything happens the same, except for once they reach the shore and Shigaraki tells Nomu to kill Yorichi. The Nomu suddenly stops moving just as it was about to grab Yorichi, with its arm falling off, as everybody notices a woman, as you see in the picture, without the baby Yorichi, since he's about 18 now. As she then sheaths her sword as the Nomu's arm falls off, with it yelling out in pain due to, I'm pretty sure, since the sword is sort of like the same, made out of the same material as the other Demon Slayer sword, it won't allow it to regenerate for a while. So the Nomu's arm is missing for a while, and as Shigaraki notices her, as he asks who the hell is she, as she remains silent. Now Aizawa looks up and he recognizes her from 17 years ago. She was the late woman who's carrying Yorichi. As once Yorichi looks up to see her, and when Yorichi sees her, he sort of has like a feeling of familiarity once he sees her. As Shigaraki would tell the Nomu to kill her, as when the Nomu charges at her, Kokushibo uses he uses third form Loathsome Moon chains as two gigantic crescents from which a storm of smaller crescents spreads. This technique causes huge destruction in a small area. As the Nomu is hit by this, the Nomu basically falls as is bleeding profusely due to how deep the slashes were. But it quickly heals them up due to them being smaller than having his arm missing. And once the Nomu is about to land a finishing blow on Kokushibo, she uses her ultimate tech. She uses the 14th form Castro's Tenman Crescent Moon as she swings her sword and creates a gigantic vortex of powerful omnidirectional flashes. As when the Nomu is caught up into it, is basically just gone. All that's left is one arm. And since the Nomu's brain is gone, the Nomu can't regenerate. As Shigaraki is scratching his neck like he did in canon, stating that she cheated. As when he goes to try and grab her, touch her to decay her, Yorichi spins around and ends up slicing Shigaraki's arm off, where the elbow ends and the forearm begins. Yeah, she cuts it off right there. As Shigaraki yells out in pain as Kurogiri warps them both away. And that's where I'm going to leave it off. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you'd like to see more, I can make another part to this. So I'll see you guys next time.